Warm greetings from India and a lovely morning, tempestuous evening to all the people who are watching us live today. Global Talk Show by none other than Business Power Academy, Netherlands. And today we are having two beautiful, eminent personalities that are going to rock this show. And I am sure this evening is going to be packed with so many knowledge, fun, and learnings. And I am so super excited to co host this show along with my host, Veronica Saban. And the great eminent personality is Daniel Gomez. Welcome to our show, Daniel.
Thank you for having me, Doctor. I'll tell you what, I'm excited to be here with you two beautiful ladies and just add some value. And I'm international with y'all, so I'm excited to be here with your community. So I'm just, whatever question you have or whatever you need me to do, I'm yours.
Well, before I pass my check this to Veronica, let me apprise you all about Daniel Gomez. Well, he needs not any introduction in today's era, but he is a business and executive coach and #1 ranked motivational keynote speaker. And what to say more, you will come to know about him in this beautiful journey. And now I pass my check to Veronica for the further journey. Yes, Veronica.
Thank you, Supriya. Heartiest welcome to both of you. First of all, I want to thank you from the depth of my heart to you, Supriya, for all your input, for your knowledge, and for your talent. And a heartiest welcome to you, Danielle. And I'm super honored to having you on my global talk show, sharing our life story, experience, and expertise.
No, well, thank you for having me. I know I was able to we shared the stage a couple of years back, Veronica, and I just loved your energy, loved your heart. So however I can serve you, I'm honored to be here and just add value to your audience and add value to the people around the world. So thank you so much for having me again.
Well, before I take a deep dive in my journey, and that journey, that is lovely and inspirational journey with Daniel. Daniel, my first question, which is popping up in my mind, and I'm so inquisitive to ask to you about your journey. And my audience too wants to know that. So please go ahead and enlighten us with your journey.
Yes, well, I think it starts off for me really where I'm at this point. You don't realize in your life as you're going, you're learning every day. And I was in the automotive industry for 20 years and I learned a lot about business. We had 100+ employees. I learned a lot about business, and going deep inside of that, it never did I imagine that I was going to have my own business 20 years later after leaving the automotive industry. 5 years ago, my wife was diagnosed with breast cancer, and it didn't matter the success that I had, how much money we had in the bank. I was put in a position where I had to change my perspective, change who I was in life. And I resigned. And my identity, I will tell you, I was lost for a couple of months, because when you do something for so long, it becomes part of you. It becomes part of who you are at your DNA. And it really just, it was a challenge for me, because I think most people, doctor, they don't go deep within themselves, Veronica. They don't go deep within themselves, and they deal with shallow things at a level, but you got to go deeper. And that's where my journey started. I had to really work on myself, because my wife had a double mastectomy. She had the surgery. She made a decision to remove both her breasts, and it was just a hard time for us. But in that season is when I decided to start my business, and that's when our brand Daniel Gomez Inspires was born. And here we are, almost 5 years later, and we're impacting people all over the country, all over the world. I just came back from, like I meant, 2 years ago we were in Pakistan. In earlier this year we were in the UK. So it's amazing the lives that we're transforming. So I want your audience to understand this. Never underestimate or never devalue the small beginnings you're at. everything that you're living and going through right now is going to add wisdom to you 5 years, 10 years down the road. You don't see it, but I promise you that God's going to use that to make you and help you become the person you need to be.
Wow, that's really lovely. And Daniel, you really touched so many lives today by your inspirational story. And when you said that your wife had been diagnosed with cancer, and that this word is really, really threatening to any woman in this world, but how you had handled this situation, it's really, really hats off to you for this. Well, Daniel, before I move, I would love to know every person, whether it's you, me, or Miss Veronica, had seen lot of challenges in our life, lot. And we are not just sitting smiling over here just because of our smile. So in your life, what type of challenges you had faced and how you have overcome that success mantra? Even my viewers want to know that. So please enlighten us.
Yeah, challenges are a gift. First of all, you got to change your perspective of how you see a challenge. You got to change your perspective of how you see problems. This is what I always say is a challenge and a problem will bring out your genius. It will reveal the genius that you are. The problem is most of us don't see ourselves as genius. We don't see ourselves as having that capacity. But when you really focus on why challenges come into our life, it's to make us grow. It's to help us become better. And I learned that really quick in business, right? When a problem arises, when a challenge arises, I embraced it. And most people, when something happens to that capacity, they get mad, they reject it. And in rejecting it, it causes more frustration. So what are you really doing? You're really fighting the very blessing that's meant to send you to grow you as an individual. The example was my wife's breast cancer. We could have, right? We could have played the victim. We could have been mad at God and said, why me? But we didn't. That wasn't our response. Something that my wife said that really always encourages me is that she said, why not me? Why not me? And because of that attitude, it helped me to really embrace what we were going through. And we grew so much as a family. My wife grew as a woman. I grew as a man. She grew as a wife. I grew as a husband. And then our whole family grew because our relationship with our kids and just immediate family just changed dramatically for the better. And even to this day, we're still seeing the fruit of that. So I would tell people, embrace the challenge you're going through. It's a gift to help you grow and become. But so many of us, we're so selfish and we don't realize it. I was selfish, doctor. I was selfish, Veronica. And the whole key as you grow and become a higher version, a better person, is you start to become selfless. Because now the focus isn't on Daniel, it's on Veronica, it's on doctor, it's on other people. And of course, people say, well, that's crazy. No, it's not crazy, because what I realize is the more you give, God says, I can trust you with more now, son. Let me pour more into you. And that floodgate never ceases to have water, to have blessings, because you reap what you sow, and the more blessings you sow in helping people, it comes back to you.
Daniel, this line, golden line you have said, and it is really true. Whether you find in any religious book, whether you belong to any religion, and it has said, the more you do good things to others, it will return to you. Even the law of attraction said the same thing. So what a beautiful message Daniel has given in his answer. Do good to others and God will return you double of this. So lovely answer and so inspirational, Daniel. I'm just brimming with lot of inspiration from you on this great show. And now,
Sometimes
yeah.
when this happens, right, what happens is we, instead of taking a moment to look at what's going on, we react right away. And as a human being, you need to stop being reactive. If you want to better your life, stop being reactive to it's those little petty things, Veronica. It's those little petty things, doctor, that we get mad and frustrated for nothing. I laugh at myself. I'm like, man, I was dumb, right? I mean, I can tell my like, why did I react that way? Now I learned it's not half the time when we react, we put ourselves in a bigger hole. So take a minute, don't be reactive, assess what's going on. And when you give yourself even that 1 minute, that 5 minute delay before you react to something, I promise you it's a better response to what's going on around you.
Wow, superb, Daniel. And I must say, today on this global talk show, you have inspired many, including me and Miss Veronica too. What a great and exhilarating personality you are. Hats off to you and God bless you. And now I pass my dice to Miss Veronica for further questions. Yes.
Thank you, Dr. Supriya. And Daniel, I would love to ask you about your magnificent aura and your inner power. How do you use that? Yes, when you can put it together with your belief, or when you combine it with the divine power, because from our collaboration, I know that you have a very, very deep belief in God, but as well in you.
Yes. Well, you know that the truth is, Veronica, that my confidence comes from God. My confidence comes from having that trust in him. I think the biggest shift for me in business when we started growing, and then it's a lot. And I think most entrepreneurs, most small businesses fail because they trust in themselves. And the moment that I went from, this is the shift. You have to stop being Daniel reliant, right? When I stopped being Daniel Gomez reliant and I started being God reliant, everything, all the weight was gone. I was stretched, right? I was stretched, but I wasn't stressed. I was stretched, but I wasn't stressed. And it's a difference because so many of us, we feel that stress and then we go into that negative spiral. So really for me, the abilities that I have, I know that by God's grace, every gift that I have to speak, to talk, it's from God. I recognize my source. And I think that's where that extra power comes from, because the moment you think that the moment I say it's just Daniel Gomez doing it, then I know I'm going to fail, because that's arrogance, that's pride. I've done that before. And that's that I was even successful, right? In the world's view, I was successful. I had the Corvettes. We had a lot of success in the automotive industry, but that was a lot of that meat was just Daniel dependent on me. But when I made the shift, when I resigned from that and now started our own business, I started that way, Veronica, but I said, no, I need to realize that everything I have, all my energy, all my love, all the compassion, all the unselfishness, right? Being selfless was God moving through me. So I think for me, that's the main thing, is it makes my ability even stronger, because I know that I can dream even bigger now, because now I know where my source is coming from.
So I have the next question, which is very, very impressive in my opinion, which is related to your life story. What has changed since your wife has been diagnosed by breast cancer? In generally, in your professional life, in your relationship with your wife, with your kids, and even in your business?
I think for me, before we started, I mentioned that I went to Pakistan, and I've been to Mexico before. Mexico is a pretty poor country, but it's nothing like Pakistan that I experienced. We stayed at this hotel, and it was a 5-star hotel or 4-star hotel, and you look down on everybody, right? You literally see everybody's homes, and it was very, very humbling. And it opened me up to a new level of compassion that I never had, a new level of compassion that I'd never experienced. And I think for me, the big transition in me was the compassion coming out more in my life. Compassion for doctor, compassion for Veronica, compassion for the homeless person, because everyone, by nature, we're quick to judge. because we're always judging. And I think even people that don't mean to judge, they judge. It's part of being a human being. But it really taught me not to be judging people, because you never know what they're going through. Because everybody's story, right? Everybody's life story is why they're the way they are. And it's not fair to judge somebody when they've never experienced that, or maybe they grow up in a house where their mom beats them all the time and they're angry. You don't know why they're angry. So I've learned to be compassionate and really change the perspective of how I see people initially, right? I do believe that first impressions are important, but I do believe if people allow themselves to be loved, can be changed over time.
Wow, it's very, very impressive, and your story and generally, so your transformation inspires really millions of people, because this is a true life story which happened in your life, and it relates as well to my life story too. And so all the hardships that I have been going through, yeah, in a certain moment, I lost everything in my life what I have been building through the years as a single mom. Believe me, it's very, very hard. I was working literally like a slave to maintain all my family, my mom, my dad, my brother, and my daughter, and myself too. Yeah. And not because I feel obligated, but because I felt so much love for my family, because I felt responsible to take care of them. And I think, and I firmly believe that everything is happening with a reason, with a purpose. So what do you believe about the reason or the purpose, what is happening, so to your wife, and what has changed in your life?
Well, I think it's for everybody. Right? I'll use this word experience. I would tell your audience to write this word on experience. Every experience that you go through, it's to prepare you for the next level, the next season of your life. Every experience. Me going to Pakistan and not really understanding, I thought I was going there to go speak, and I did, but it was deeper than that. There's always a deeper, right? I think human beings, sometimes we're so shallow that we deal with stuff here, and God's like, no, I want to deal with stuff here and deal with stuff way down here. So every experience that we go through, whether it's great or whether it's bad or whether it challenges us like a challenge, it's to make us and to help us evolve for the next season of our lives. And what I mean by that is that going through Pakistan and coming back, I was just more loving. I was like, what do I have to complain about? Like, something would go wrong, and I was like, that's nothing, right? Like, you'll take, this is the wisdom in this. I want people to start practicing this. Give yourself 90 days, right? If the problem can be fixed within 90 days, don't worry about it. Don't kill yourself about it. So many times we make situations and scenarios so big that it consumes us, and then we get stressed out for nothing. Ask yourself this question, okay, with what I'm dealing with right now, within 90 days, this is going to be over. And majority of them are going to be yes. So why mess up your whole life over that, or your whole day? And really understand that the things that we see are humongous. No, this is a problem. If you make a small problem or a small challenge big, you know what that really is saying, Veronica? It's saying you're a small person. That's what it's saying. It's God's way of saying it's time for you to grow, to become bigger than the challenge, bigger than the problem, because I want to give you more. So every experience, whether good or bad, that we go through, it's to help you become even more of what God has in store for you.
Wow, it's amazing, and I have the same belief like you. My daughter was crying because was happening something in the family, like in all the families, yeah. Some noises, but okay. And I said to my daughter these words: remember one thing for the rest of your life. Strong and wise people always will lift up, so the weak people. They will help them to grow from all point of views. Weak people will take you always down. And I said to her, for the rest of your life, just remember these words and use it, implement it in your own life. And she was like, wow, oh my gosh. We have had a similar situation related to our global talk show, because when you start to grow, there is always people who is envious, yeah.
Yes.
And
There's
yes,
a lot of those out there.
yes, yes, because they don't focus on their growth, or they don't focus on collaborations. They don't focus to become a better person, but they become on what someone also has built or is building. And I said, what I have said to you, so Dr. Supra, at the time, when you said, oh, these people, so it's very envious. And as she said, I don't understand, what do they want? What I said to you?
Yeah, that time I do remember when I came to Veronica, I to message, yeah, Veronica, this is happening, that is happening. How do I handle those things? But thanks to Veronica, she handled me and she told me to be calm and to dart forward in my mission. And it really started working out for me, because when you grow up in your life, more than your friends, your enemies multiplies. And that's what we both have seen in our journey. And the way Veronica has handled everything, I must salute and appreciate. So that's the marvelous part of her. Yeah.
Yes, thank you so much. But I want to remember so to you what I said. So the phrase, what I pronounced at that time. Why the people so they become envious and jealous? Because they are weaker than you, because they are seeing a potential in you, because they are afraid. So you have to be proud of you. You have to shine like a star more than ever.
Yes, I love that, right? And the way you said it is so beautiful, right? People get envious of you because they're weaker than you, right? They're envious of you because they're weaker. And I've never heard it that way. So I like the way you said that, Veronica, because when people start getting critical, and this is the truth though, whether it's a family member or a friend, it's because they're seeing you succeeding more than they are. And they become critical because they start saying things that, right, they don't even really think about what they're saying, but they're like, oh, now you think you're all good because you got a talk show around the global, Veronica, right? You think because you got a talk show you're better than us? No, I don't think that. Or they'll say things like, oh, you forgot where you come from. Or they'll say something like, oh, now you think you're all that? No, I'm all that in Jesus, but that's about it. but it's their own insecurities that, right? Because everybody, we have a gift inside of us to be more in life. It's in us, but most people never really tap into that, so they just settle for below average, and then they never really become who they were created to be. And in that unhappiness, they tolerate things. So once they see a Veronica and a doctor doing amazing, right? It's easier to criticize that. It's easier to be critical about that than to really do the work. Think about this in America. In America, we have hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of fans that go to professional football games, that are Cowboys fans, that are baseball fans. Why do we have all these fans there? Because it's easier to watch from the sideline than to actually do the work yourself. Let me say that again. It's easier to be a fan than to be the one on the field doing the work, because the commitment that it takes, many, I would say most people don't have what it takes.
Mhm.
Very
Yes,
true.
you are inspiring and you are touching my heart. I think the heart of Dr. Supra as well, of millions of people around the globe. I have the next question to you. Let's talk about your amazing book, which I bought as well on Amazon.
Wow, beautiful.
I love that book. I have a copy too.
Okay. I wanted only to show to the world, so because building a relationship, it means also supporting each other, appreciating each other, and giving meaning as well, to what we are creating for the world. And tell us more about your book, please.
What the book, The Makings of a Millionaire Mind, is really helping thousands of people. We've sold thousands and thousands of copies of books, and it's been amazing. We turned the book into a course, and now we're going to have our live event here in Texas and San Antonio. We're going to have our boot camp. So it's blown up tremendously. We trademarked it, so we got the trademark. I'm excited about that. But the book is really this: it gives you the right attitude, the right approach, and the right heart in becoming a millionaire God's way. So you don't self-destruct, you don't self-implode. And there's many people out there, right? I do a lot of executive and business coaching, and there's many people that are successful in the world's eyes, but inside they're so empty, they're so lonely, because they have the wealth, they have the money, but they don't have the other ingredients. And really, the makings of a millionaire mind, the way we teach it and the way we show you, it's really comes from a transformation from your heart to really know that, guess what, you do deserve it, and that God didn't put you here, right? The wealth is a consequence of serving God. The wealth is a consequence of being there and serving God, serving people. And wealth was, right, the reason wealth was created was to distribute and help people, to help people become free from whatever situation they're in. And maybe it's free of poverty, free from lack of education, but it's really the wealth. You keep some of it, right? We do keep some of it, but the thing is, we give a lot of it away. And really, when you have that mindset, it's never ending. You'll never, I promise you this, Veronica and Doctor, you'll never have a bigger shovel than God. As you shovel out and bless people and help people and pour into people, God's shoveling back into you. And that's what it means to become a millionaire God's way, because you have the right heart where people get the benefit of your wealth, right? Of course, you got to use wisdom. You got to use wisdom in what you do and how you approach it. But the thing is this, is that there's an abundance out there, and most people, they don't see it. And something that I talk about in the book, along with the wealth and the money files, and really changing your belief system about money, is if you want more, you have to become more. And most people don't want to become more. Their self-image, they have a poor self-image, and they wonder why their life is where it is because your life is never going to pass the current, I say this all the time, your life is never going to pass the current self-image you have of yourself. And guess what? If you're the business owner, your business is never going to grow that. So when you buy this book, when you go to the makingsofamillionairemind.com and you get the course, I promise you, it's going to help increase your revenue. It's going to increase your bank accounts, and it's going to really give you a transformation of the heart, because that's where the true transformation is. The intellect, yes, we do need the wisdom, right? But it's really, the word of God says this: as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he.
That's really great. And I must say, Veronica has already a book. Now I'm going to order it. I'm so excited now to read this book, to develop my account, to develop my intellectual also, and to move on. And Daniel, I will purchase, and I'm going to make my life beautifully transformed. Well,
yes,
this journey, I tell you, it's going so beautiful and so exciting that I don't want to end it. But still, Daniel has not having time. So my question coming to Daniel is, Daniel, we all know that you're a business and executive coach, you're a motivational speaker, writer, author. But in your free time, that is leisure time activities, what would you love to do, your hobbies? And I am so excited to know this from you.
I tell people this. I tell people I'm a fish.
A fish.
I'm a fish. I love to be in the lake, Doctor. I love, I've been boating for the last almost 14, 15 years. We bought our first boat in 2013, and my friends have had boats. But finally in 2013, I told my wife, I think I want to buy a boat. And because I was always out, right? We're always out at the river. We're always out at the lake. And I love the water. I just love being out there, jumping in the water, swimming, relaxing, seeing God's creation. So during my pastime, I love boating and I love swimming in the lake. That's why I said I'm a fish.
Sure. And you have given us so much inspiration that we all will become a fish, not shark, but little bit fish. We can become that.
Yes, yes. You have
We
to, right?
should.
You have to enjoy life too. And for me, I'll go out to the lake on a Saturday and I'll stay out there all day just relaxing because you got to rest your body. And so many people, the mistake they make in business is they overdo, right? They use the word grind in America a lot. And I don't agree with the word grind because sooner or later you're going to run yourself ragged. It's better to work with wisdom, work hard, apply yourself. Yes, have some urgency, but you also got to know when to take your foot off the pedal and rest and recover.
Sure, sure. We will rest also, and we will work also, and we will just balance the life, what Daniel has inspired us to do, and we'll rock the life once again. Now I will pass to Veronica. Yeah, you can go on.
Yes, I wanted so to relate to your message, Danielle, that you said that you are like a fish. Yes, indeed, me too. Do you know why? Because I'm properly in love with water, but there is something which I use in my life. It's like a motto, a proverb. Yeah, we should move through our life like the fish when it's swimming in the water, very flexibly and very fast.
Yes.
Using the wisdom and everything so that we have acquired along our journey, along the years, our wisdom, our knowledge, and our belief, and first of all, our heart and kindness. I want to thank you, both of you, from the depth of my heart for this astonishing, beautiful global talk show, for your wisdom, for your knowledge, and thank you for being with us to all the audience.
No, thank you. And if you want me to come back in the future, I'll be more than glad to come back and drop some more wisdom. So I appreciate y'all having me, ladies.
Me too. I have been invited to Dallas, so I think in April I will visit the United States. Maybe we can see, we can meet each other.
Yes, yes, yes.
That's
Thank
really
you
great.
again.
That's really great, Daniel. And I also thank you, heartfelt thanks from the bottom core of my heart and soul for sparing your precious time and coming over our show and sharing golden nuggets of wisdom that will be with our audience to be the fish, but don't forget your work. And that's what make you a millionaire mind. So thank you once
Yes.
again. And thank you, Veronica, for always being the greatest support of me and for the Global Talk Show. And once
Thank you so
again,
much, ladies.
yeah, and once again, how can I forget my lovely and lively audience for loving us constantly and unconditionally? Keep loving us. Stay tuned. Happy, hale, and hearty. Bye bye. Good night from India.
Bye-bye. Take care.
Bye, everybody.